Hi. Thank you so much for asking this question. And honestly, I'm surprised it hasn't been asked earlier. And I just want to start off this video with, in the comments, I so deeply request respectful responses and interactions with one another, because unfortunately, masks are still a hot topic in our country. And can elicit some very, as I like to say, passionate responses. So yeah, whether you are for or against masks, still wear them or don't, just interact in the comments politely and respectfully with one another. So yes, we are still wearing masks when we go out. If you're new here, or just as a little refresher, my mom is immunocompromised. She has relapsing, remitting multiple sclerosis. And she's at a point right now, her status quo is pretty low. And should she have an attack, it could render her extremely potentially vegetative, given how her attacks in the past have made her decline. If you're on a scale of 1 to 10, and 10 is great and 1 is not so great, she gets knocked down like 5 pegs each time. So if she's at a 5 right now, she can go to a 1 type of thing on her next relapse or attack. I might have said the wrong thing. Multiple sclerosis, she is primary progressive. If I didn't say that initially, I apologize. She was initially diagnosed with relapsing remitting, and it progressed. Anyway, we are vaccinated, we're boosted, we're all probably due for some boosters. It's just impossible to get any information. I'm in Florida, and it's really hard to find places that are still doing the vaccines and to get any information on what's available and whatnot. For example, my kid's pediatrician, they don't have access to the boosters for the kids. They have everything else but that. Anyway, so it's advised for our family that we continue to mask to help protect my mom. And I realize, mask wearing is out there to help protect others, because you're containing your own stuff. And the vast majority of people we are around when we do go out in public, excuse me, I had a drink of water before I started this. A vast majority of the people around us when we are in public are not masked. So we're protecting them. But it's still advised we mask for my mom and when she goes out. So we do all we can to protect her in our household. And, when my husband came home with COVID in last February, and we contacted my mom's neurologist and primary care physician, and they were like, okay, what are you doing with him to keep him away from her? It was extremely concerning. So that's why we're still masking. Like I said, my mom, she is vaccinated. She cannot have live vaccines because it could potentially interfere and cause some problems. So she does not get the flu shot. But I have to double check about the pneumonia vaccine. Because I know we've come a long way with that particular vaccine. There's like a couple different forms, I think, now. And I have to talk to her doctor and neurologist about that one. But back in the day, that was one that she couldn't take based upon what was available at that time. But they still don't want her to do the flu vaccine, the flu shot. But, with how the COVID vaccine was and is, she was good for that. Based upon her medication, there was some MS medications that interfered with the COVID vaccine, but the one that she is on did not. So yeah, that's why we're still masking. Probably on my mom's next neurologist telehealth. She actually has a primary telehealth tomorrow. We'll bring up the topic of what are we feeling with masks, because we're having a spike in our area, and they're predicting a big spike again come winter. And I know, we're in the, the endemic now. It's just status quo to have this in our, life now. But it's, if she were to catch COVID versus the flu, it could be more detrimental for her. And it's pretty on par with pneumonia and her catching pneumonia. So yeah, that's the story. But yeah, fortunately, everyone in our area, is respectful of us when they see us out in masks. Knock on wood, we haven't gotten any snarkiness out in public, and we don't give out snarkiness if we're around people who are not masked, because everyone has their reasons, and we're respectful of that. My daughter popped in just as I was going to sign off, but thank you for your question, and I was happy to talk about it. And yeah, so I hope you're doing well. Are you doing well? Mm-hmm. And we'll talk to you later. Bye. Want to say bye?
Bye.